Welcome to another episode of Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy and Dino.
And sometimes Jared.
Down the Barrel Podcast is brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association
and Wolf.Report. Wolf.Report, a platform dedicated to elevating the voices of Minnesota hunters, trappers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Join us in advocating for responsible wolf management in Minnesota. Share your reports, photos, and stories, and together we will ensure that they are seen by all.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, protecting the future of deer and deer hunting through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation. Minnesota Bow Hunters, building community, celebrating tradition, driving change.
We're talking to Mr. Jesse Bernal today. Thanks for joining us, Jesse.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, Jesse, you're kind of helping out with the Grand Rapids Archers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And you've got some 3D archery shoots coming up?
We do. We have one in May on the 3rd. We have another one June 7th, and then August 2nd will be our last shoot.
Oh, okay. So how did those shoots come about? I mean, because they haven't done those every year, not that I remember. If they did, I haven't heard about them.
So I just got into archery this year.
Oh, okay.
So I have a competitive shooting background.
Okay.
And I travel around the state, shoot a lot. So it's just kind of in my DNA.
Right, right.
My good friend and his son, they were shooting a lot. His son really enjoyed it, and I just said, well, why don't I come on out and dust my bow off? I hadn't shot my bow in about 10 years. And
so are you still shooting that bow, that older bow?
No.
I was like, wow, that's impressive.
That lasted, I'm horrible. That lasted about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I had a new one on order. And Gary over at Itasca Archery is super good for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Working with a guy and making it super easy to order a new bow. So
I imagine you went with a Hoyt then.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've shot Hoyt since I was a kid.
Right.
So I shot when I was a kid and then outgrew my bow, I was 18 and got rid of it and didn't pick it up again. And then one day I was online and I saw the new generation of like parallel limb bows and I was like, I got to have one.
Right.
So within probably 6 months, I had one and hunted for a couple of years, and then life got in the way and it got hung up on the wall. And
that's the way it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm back in it now.
And you're loving it.
Obviously. Absolutely having a blast. The price of ammo. I'm a guy, I spend probably 4 days a week, if not 5 to 6 days a week at the range.
Okay.
So that gets pretty expensive, and it gets hard to feed that habit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it ain't cheap, that's for sure. As long as you ain't losing your arrows, it's definitely cheaper.
Oh, that's the truth. I lost 2 arrows one day, and I was just so mad at myself.
Yeah, because, you lose an arrow, and you're looking at $10-11 at least, right?
Yeah. Oh, easily, yeah. I think I figured it out. They were $15 a piece.
Yeah, yep. When you don't think about it, it doesn't hurt, but afterwards, you're like, man, that was kind of expensive.
I was so salty. I walked off halfway through Gary's course. Oh, yeah. I was just mad.
Been there.
And got in the car, was driving away, and I was like, I would have gone to the range. I'd have shot 250 rounds
right
at $1.50 piece.
Right.
And this was cheap.
So you made out good. Yeah.
By the time I hit the corner of 38, I was like, you know what? This wasn't too bad.
Right.
I could have stayed.
Right. Well, yeah. I just saved money.
I spend a lot of money on arrows. It tends to happen when you Robin Hood every shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you wish.
Everybody thinks that's cool. But
yeah, send me that picture.
You get that picture, then you're like, man, I got to stop doing that. We got to shoot those other circles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think the most arrows I lost in one day was 4. Well, I take that back. So I lost 2, and then 1 insert pulled out, and then the other one, it hit something in the target. I don't know if it hit somebody else's insert or whatever that was in it, but it ended up breaking the shaft or something. So, I broke 4 arrows.
Well, we have those days. I know it wasn't last year we didn't shoot out at Gary's on the league. The year before we did, and I was trying some new. I think I got a new bow, and I was trying some different stuff, and man, I had the worst luck. Yeah. My outserts were pulling off. It was horrible.
Was that the day you dry fired?
I've done that more than once.
Yeah.
Just forgot to knock an arrow.
I am absent-minded, and I'll walk up to a target, and I will pull back, and I'll get the perfect shot, and snap. And then we all realize that Jim didn't have an arrow on there.
Yep.
I've done that multiple times. I did it once at the R100.
Oh,
And there was like 60 people around, and nobody told me, hey, dude, you do not have an arrow in there.
They're just like, I'm going to see how this plays out.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I would have done the same thing. Like, but I was like, this is going to be interesting.
Yep.
But at least at the R100, I didn't wreck anything. When it happened out at Gary's a couple years ago, I did knock the string off.
Yep.
So Gary fixed it for me real quick. So,
Yeah.
He's good at that.
So thanks, Gary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So when you see me shooting, if I don't have an arrow in there, please say something to me. It was that idiot again.
Right. So you said 3 shoots.
Three shoots,
They're
correct.
all happening at Itasca Archery.
Yes, Gary has generously donated his course to us, so
Very nice.
we're
Yeah,
very
that's great.
lucky for that because the club doesn't have their own course. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gary's course is a fun course. I don't know if have you been out there,
I have
Jared?
not done the 3D course yet.
Yeah,
I'm
Gary's
looking
is a
forward to doing
hoot.
that.
Yeah. Mhm. Lots of terrain. And 27 targets? 30?
28.
28?
28.
Okay. I mean, he's got full-size moose out there. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a
Full size elk.
elk,
Bear.
caribou. Yeah, turkeys.
Good elevation too. You don't
Right.
get off the ground, but like you make some shots that you're pretty far downhill.
Right. I mean, it's a good exercise too, believe it or not.
It is.
It is.
I'm usually sweating by target 8.
Oh, yeah. I'm sweating by target 4.
Oh, I'm huffing and puffing. Like,
Well, those hills, yeah, they'll get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you always bring somebody with you that likes to run down there to get the arrows.
Right. Bring your kids.
Right.
Yep. Oh, exactly.
Right. No, but yeah, it's a fun course. So I think these shoots are going to be a blast. I'm actually looking for them. I think we'll be there as MNBOW, right?
Correct. Yep.
I'll have a booth or whatever. We haven't really talked about that, but yeah, we'll be there in some form. I'd like to shoot too.
On the 3rd, I believe,
The
right?
3rd for sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Are you going to be around on the 3rd, Jared?
I believe so.
Okay.
I got to double check.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll
Yeah. So Jesse,
be able to shoot.
obviously you've kind of spearheaded the promotion for these shoots, right?
yes.
What led to that? I mean, did you get nominated or did you just volunteer for that?
So I just joined the club this year, and I went to the annual meeting and kind of gave some opinions, gave some suggestions, and didn't really get taken too seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm an honest feller. I ran my mouth pretty hard, and the harder that they kind of mocked me, the more I leaned into it.
Yeah.
To the point where I left there and I went to work the next day, and my buddy that's been my right hand man in this, I said, "Hey, you wanna give me some backup? You want to help me put on one of these shoots?" I said one, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm all for it." He's like, "Let's do it." So right away, I was sending a couple text messages, and I said, I need some permission, some blessing. I got an idea, but I got to ask some people first, and it's going to require, trading on the club's name. And they said, "Yeah, go for it. Do something up and bring it to me."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, no problem, 100%." So, yeah, I went. I talked to Gary. That was going to be the biggest hurdle.
Right.
We needed a place to do it, and instantly, Gary there at Itasca Archery was just on board.
Yeah.
He was super stoked, and he leaned in, which fueled. I mean, that was all I needed. And all of a sudden, we went from 1 to 3, and the train just took off from there.
So how did you make the decision to go from 1 to 3? That seems like a lot of work.
It was kind of one of those fuck around and find out moments. And I just, I was like,
Glutton
all
for
right,
punishment.
yeah, here we go. You want to mock at 1, I'll do 3.
All right.
So,
I like your attitude.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to put on snowboard competitions with a good friend of mine.
Okay.
He brought me in. I was just a little pipsqueak. And he brought me in. He showed me the ropes. He showed me, how to approach these companies and do stuff like that.
Right.
It's been a skill that I've kept with me my whole life. When I was working on the skate park here in town,
Yeah.
I used a lot of that to get a lot of that funding. And so shout out to my man, Jeff. He taught me the way.
Yeah, there you go.
But so instantly, I got probably 150 emails out to
It's a way to do it.
companies and stuff nationally, just, for the sponsorship. And the sponsorship that we got has just been great, and the first one's always the hardest, right? Because they don't know if you're real
Right.
or you're just trying to scam. And, let's be honest, there's scammers out there. So the ones that do, are like, well, and especially I think this packet, so I did a whole packet, a layout, and kind of showed it to them. And the ones that signed on they were about 50-50, some were like, oh yeah, this is really great. Other ones were like, all right, go away.
You're right.
And
and
here's some stuff.
normal.
Let's see what happens. But
Yeah, it's really a numbers game. But I think what you did is great. Helping a club like that, I hope they appreciate it.
yeah. There were some of the ones that I was kind of butting some heads with that I thought I was going to have the worst problem.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are the most in my corner.
They came around.
Really?
And I get it. I think they're just burnt out from doing the legwork for so
Right.
many years.
Yeah. Because we were pretty involved in that club years ago.
We were. Yep.
Yeah. And I could probably even name the people you're talking about, but I won't.
Yeah. And like I said, I thought those ones were going to be, and they're the ones that ring my phone all the time and are like, hey, check this out. I think we're going to do this, or hey, I think we got that. And it's like, man, I'm so glad that you're fired back up because
Right. Well,
I want to use you to.
It's
get
contagious that energy. You bring, especially to a club that maybe is getting a little stagnant. Then you come in and you're promoting like this. We're not doing one event. We're going to do 3. We're going to do 3 3D target shoots, and you're getting sponsors and you're making some ground. It's contagious. So
I'm hoping really to bring it back. Again, I coming from that competitive sports background, I travel to a lot of events that are solely funded by sponsorship,
Right.
and hardworking people. And it's just a lot of fun, and I want to bring that, seeing this new TAC generation of bow shooters, and these guys, and it scores between your friends. You're not putting it on a board.
Right.
You're not
right.
You're not up there on display. It's you, your buddies, and just a good time.
Exactly.
And
That's why I like when we go out there. We have an app that we have, and we're competing against each other. And that's it. That's it. I love doing that. Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got a youth member in one of our chapters that's very involved in his local archery club, and he makes these stickers.
Oh yeah,
I bought a few stickers
I did
off
too.
of him, and I just love the saying on there. It says something like, "Archery is not about being better than anyone else; it's about being better than yesterday."
Right.
I just think that's the perfect way to sum up.
And with archery, it really is. When I think about it, because I've really kind of lagged the last year and a half of shooting, and I guarantee when I get out there, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to get back to where I was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So that's what it's going to be this year when I get out there. I have a new bow and everything, so we're going to have to get back out there, and I'm going to have to work a little bit to get back up there, and then you're going to improve every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we were shooting the 3D range, a couple years ago, pretty regularly, competitively, really,
Right.
Beginning of the year or beginning of the season to the end, it was just crazy how much we improved,
Right.
leaps and bounds. And then, the next year, it's like, okay, we started off mid of what we did the previous year
Right.
and still improved. But then you still have one of those days that it's like, you lose an arrow or you're just not hitting right and stuff like that.
Man.
So, that of course, that's like that and everything with your competitive shooting. I'm sure it's the same way. You got your good days, bad days, and days are like, what the hell am I doing? Can I, why am I doing
wrong?
this? Yeah.
What am I doing
exactly.
wrong
Yep.
today?
Can't do anything right. So no, I love the 3D range, and
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
the
Because
aspect of
we're
it and
hunters,
everything.
so
Yeah,
I think that's why we like it so much.
for sure.
That realistic aspect of it.
Yeah. You're not just standing there at a 0 degree angle shooting at a
Right.
hay bale, you know?
Right. And that competition level.
But let me tell you that when we were doing the inside range in the wintertime, when we were doing that, it was kind of the same way. And you would think it'd be so easy. It's 20 yards. Come on, you're shooting at an X. You should be able to hit it every
You're working
time.
for that much.
Yeah.
You're working for that much. And it takes a lot of effort to get that inch.
Our listeners can't see.
I know.
what
Okay,
you're
I'm
doing
holding my
here,
fingers up. It's about an inch. Okay.
Yeah,
We're an
he's
inch away from that
showing us
bullseye.
the size of something.
And to get that difference takes a lot of work. And sometimes it feels impossible to just, get that.
And honestly, that indoor really helped. I know it helped improve my focus for the outdoor, the 3D range by
100%,
actually
100%.
experiencing the indoor competition in a way to get better at the outdoor.
Right.
Everyone is an outstanding shooter until you're shooting indoor for score.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with my bow.
Yep.
Exactly.
This is, once you start recording that, I keep a record of all my scores, so I can track my average now. And this is my first year shooting indoor league and shooting indoors in Vegas style or 5-spot. And, like once I started tracking my scores, there's days where I'm just like, man, I'm horrible, like you're saying, like I'm just having a bad day, and I push to the end and I tally up my score, and it's like, man, I'm only like 2 points down from what I normally shoot. Like I'm still in my average, and it's like, there's kind of a mindset, everybody, coming, I'm a gun enthusiast. So I'm going to talk about like permit to carry guys. I love permit to carry guys, right? Everybody's going to rise to the occasion. Like, well, if something happens, I'm going to rise to the occasion. You're not going to rise to shit.
Yep.
Like you are as good as you trained for,
Right.
And you're never going to be, God isn't going to come down and guide you and be like, oh, here you go. Now's your moment. Like,
Right.
And putting the pressure on and shooting that stuff and the improvement, really,
Right.
It's confidence builder,
It is.
especially like shooting Gary's course, there's so much elevation and you're shooting downhill
Through trees.
and next to stuff and uneven ground. And like, we went to Bowfest and I carried a dozen arrows with me at Bowfest because I was like, I'm going to lose so many.
Yeah.
And I lost one to a stake in a target, but like the rest of them, all the crazy shots, man, I was still landing. And, I just had that confidence of, been having shooting like that. So
how is Bowfest, speaking of it? I mean, I didn't get to go there yet. But we might go this year.
We're hoping to.
yeah, we are giving away some Bowfest tickets, actually.
Nice.
We're going to have 2 pairs of all access passes. Don't quote me on that.
Nice.
The email was a little foggy, but
So at the 3-day events that you guys are having, I know you have a bunch of prizes. Now, is that competitive prizes or is that like drawing prizes?
so what we're going to do is, you're going to shoot the course.
Right.
And throughout the course, we're going to have at least 2 what we're calling challenge stages. And you're going to be able to pay $5, fling 3 arrows at a target. If you can hit that target, you're going to get 3 raffle tickets. So the more you can hit that target, the more you're going to enter to win those prizes. So all the prizes are going to be either separate or packages of around $300.
Okay.
So, be worth it for a guy to sit there and throw $20-$25 and get some raffle tickets.
Yeah. So on the 3D, for like that kind of entry, do you allow rangefinders?
Oh yeah, 100%. We're like rangefinders. You can bring a spotting scope, binoculars, like anything you want. You can check the wind.
I love it.
You can run down there and check the wind if you want.
I don't have that much energy.
Yeah, no, it's when we, back to the Bowfest thing, we went to Bowfest and it was a wild time. Absolutely got my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
I thought I was, I'm a big dude. I thought I was doing pretty good walking Gary's course every other day, and we got there and yeah, their idea of intermediate or, low level
Yeah.
was still pretty steep.
Yeah. How is the course? How are they? I mean, because they have multiple
man.
courses, don't they?
Yeah, they have like 5 courses.
Oh, wow.
They're freaking rad. The ones that I made it through.
Well, I suppose it's like a ski resort, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it must have a lot of elevation.
Yeah, and they're all Reinhardt targets.
Nice.
They got a couple homemade ones, but they got a huge giraffe and some other crazy stuff. And yeah, you get in the door and you just shoot till you're done. They drive you around. The chairlift runs, but then they run vehicles like down the hill.
Okay.
So if you come off a course, you can get back to a pickup station, and they'll swing by, pick you up, your whole crew, and drive you to the other side of the hill and drop you off at the next course.
Nice.
Yeah, it was worth it. Early tickets right now are $100, I think, for the full weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, I mean, get in on it. I think they go up to more. I don't know what
Well, I know, and they have like live music, and I think they have vendors. And
yeah, they're going to have. Last year was my first year going, and it was they only had a handful of vendors there.
Okay.
I think they had, I don't know who they had for bands. They had a couple decent bands.
Yeah.
They roll a big stage in there, and yeah, it's quite. The After Dark is pretty legit.
Yeah, it looks like a fun deal.
Yeah, I'd like to try it I've watched and read a lot of reviews or whatever on it to where guys are like, yeah, I thought I was in shape and thought I could shoot 3D, and then you go there and I didn't bring enough water, I didn't bring enough snacks, I didn't do this, and yeah.
The water, hydrate. I drank 1.5 gallons of water, and I didn't leave any behind. It was rough. We have one of the guys in our crew, and he goes out west and hunts and stuff. I figured he would have shown up a little more prepared. He had like 2 bottles of water, and by the end of the day, we thought he was going to die.
So they don't have watering stations along the path, is that you said?
Not really.
No.
There is some stuff on a couple of the courses, kind of the same way. Like, we're modeled a lot after the way that they did it. There's some break points and then some challenge shoots, so you can kind of take a load off, relax, chairs, some shade, and I think last year was one of the challenge shoots was 140 yards at a big 4x4 block target with like a 24-inch black dot.
That sounds like a hoot.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, where else do you get to shoot 140 yards? You know? And you didn't have to set it up. You just show up.
Yeah.
Right. And fling an arrow.
Cool.
Yeah. Here's my $5.
Right.
So did you get to go get your arrow after that?
Yeah. That was great. It was, it was over kind of a gully. So like you went down, it was a really cool shot because you shot over this thing. So, while you're shooting over it, your arrow is probably 30, 40 feet in the air at one point, and then it just drops in like a bomb.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So you hit it?
Yes.
Nice.
I did. I hit the block a lot. I actually hit the dot, I think, about 4 or 5 times. So,
very cool.
Cool.
yeah, it was.
So when you're shooting like that, are you shooting a single pin or are you a multiple pin?
So I'm a gamer through and through. So my scope is set up. First off, I'm shooting 70 pounds and I'm shooting a 405 grain arrow.
Okay.
So I'm pushing about 315 feet per second. And my first pin is just about topped out in my scope. And then my second pin is plus 60 yards. And then my third pin is plus 20 on top of that. So there's a huge window in the middle of my scope.
Right. I was saying, that's an interesting setup. Yeah.
But what that lets me do is I can shoot my top pin all the way out to 90 yards. And then I can dial 90, or I think I dialed 80, and then took that 60 bonus pin, and then I was right at 140.
Nice.
So I still had plenty of room for clearance.
So when you were shooting that, were you like literally had your pin on the target?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'd hold a little bit for wind because it was kind of gusting through.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
That's pretty neat.
Are you going to have anything like that out at Gary's?
So we are putting a big Sasquatch out. We don't know the distance yet.
Okay.
There's talk where we're thinking, so it should be plus 100 yards.
So it'll be fun.
So I don't know if I want to go straight to the 140, maybe for the first one, and scare a bunch of people off.
Right.
The Sasquatch is kind of a narrower target. That 4x4 block, you got a little room in there,
Right.
but we don't want to make the challenges too hard off the bat because that's just going to scare people away.
Yeah. You mean I got to pay $5 to lose an arrow?
But you can win some. You can win some real cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. We've
We've got a really
made a
sweet
donation
cooler.
to that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is a nice cooler. I kind
We
of
do
want
a
it.
Maluna or a Frosted Frog. I can't remember.
I think it was
Frosted
It was a
Frog.
frosted frog.
wheeled handle. It has a handle.
Yeah.
It has like a
60
60 cord.
cord.
Yeah.
60 cord. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Nice
a really
cooler.
tight cooler. I
It
was
is
looking
really
at
nice.
it the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So, how many shooters are you expecting?
Oh, that's the big question.
Yeah.
You know, we're hoping for as many as we can fit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really I don't know. This could go either way. There could be nobody or it could be somebody, you know.
Well, I think everybody's itching to get out and start shooting. So I think that first one, you're going to get surprised by how many people are showing up. Everybody wants to knock the dust off the bows and get out there and shoot again.
Well, and with the marketing you've been doing and, you know, the Facebook posts and stuff. And I mean, the Grand Rapids Archers have got, you know, a pretty good following and so does Gary. So, I mean, I can't imagine that obviously people are going to show up, you know, so you're definitely not going to get skunked.
I think
on
you'll be
that end
busy.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'd probably be pleasantly surprised this first round.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope so, you know,
Yeah.
and people should just come on the fact that maybe nobody will show up.
Right. You get all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, we got somebody asked me, they're like, well, what if nobody shows up?
So remember, it's on March 5th or May 5th.
May 5th. Yeah. Nobody shows up and you do. You get a guaranteed 60-quart cooler.
Just kidding. It's May 3rd. It's May 3rd.
That's the thing, you know, is like somebody had asked me, they're like, well, what if nobody shows up? And I'm like, I got to give this stuff away.
Yep.
Right. Somebody's getting it.
Yeah, I'm on the hook for it. Like I committed to giving it away. Somebody's going to get it. If one person shows up, throws $5 in there and gets one ticket, they're going to win some cool stuff.
No,
We got
You'll have a good showing.
we got a ham ski rest. We got some stand releases. We've got arrows. We've got some S&S deer processing packages.
Nice.
God, what else do we have? So much stuff. We got a Vortex rangefinder, some binos from Vortex, some hats from everybody, a sight from Redline, and I'm missing a bunch of stuff. We got some gift certificates. We got Lancaster gift cards. We got L&M jumped on. They're giving us some gift cards.
Nice.
So,
Good deal.
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
I wish it was tomorrow. I just before this podcast was finalizing my plans for opening turkey weekend. You know, I've got everything all worked out and it's dawning on me now. I'm like, shit, I have not shot my bow.
Yeah, you might want to look into
Should
that.
probably, you know, I don't want to release for the first time on a big tom and, you know, be 30 feet off.
Right.
This spring has been rough, man. We've been lucky for so many years of just having early springs, and this one has just drug on.
Yeah, it's kind of holding on.
Well, a few weeks ago, I did a post, you know, because I got the 3D deer out and the little block target and was shooting, you know, and it was chilly, but it was just warm enough. Ground was still froze. I couldn't even get couldn't get all the pegs in or anything like that. But, and then 3 days after that, snowstorm.
Yep.
Right.
And then now mud everywhere.
Right.
And then my target tipped over because then the snow melted and the target tipped over. Still mud.
Yep.
It's like, man, I can't win.
Because how long do we have until the 3rd now?
Uh,
A couple
Less
weeks?
than a month. It's April 10th.
yeah, we're
April
like
10th.
20-something days.
Oh, we got
away.
plenty of time to dry up then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not before turkey hunting, but
Right.
Yeah, I was hoping to be mulling around Gary's. His targets are going in on the 27th
Okay.
of this month. So, yeah, and then like I got a week And then like we're rocking and rolling, and the weekend going in, I'm headed to New York Mills for a NRL 22 match.
Oh, cool.
So like I'll be over there, and I haven't even shot my 22. So
Trial by fire.
yeah,
That'll get you motivated just when you have to do it.
oh yeah, when you're lugging a 25-pound gun around and pushing into a barricade. Perfect time to be remembering how to do it.
Right.
A 25-pound 22.
Yes.
Damn.
So NRL 22 is, they call it PRS for the pores, which is frightening to think about how much PRS costs if this is how much NRL 22 costs. But yeah, so I run a Bagara B14, which is a 700R4 footprint. So I got a full MDT chassis, and then your bags and everything that goes along with it. So
Nice. Yeah, that's a great gun. I do love those Bagaras, and that 22 I've looked at off and on. It's like, man, but I don't know if I want to spend that much on a 22. But for what you're doing, obviously,
sense. Right.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Having to dial and hold for windage and stuff, with the 22, and you're shooting 250 yards.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, on the clock.
Yeah.
So it's like it's time to shine. So
I've watched a lot of those on YouTube, and my brother out in North Carolina, he was doing some indoor shoots and stuff with different guns and whatnot. And I was like, man, that would be really cool. And we've talked about going out to Itasca Gun Club and doing a few of those handgun shoots or
What do they
whatever
do
they
out
call
there?
them.
so they do action pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their version of it, and I highly recommend it for anybody. I mean, anybody and everybody, right? Like I remember my first IDPA.
Yeah.
IDPA was International Defense Pistol Association. It was kind of they're still around, but they do a lot of scenario-based training type stuff. You're sweeping, clearing the room, stuff like that. But I remember my first one, and the only thing I remember is that I don't remember anything of the stage. And I remember walking through with the RO, and he's like, "Hey, did you shoot at this target?" Because there's a difference between shooting at or not engaging. And I'm like, I didn't even know that target was there. Like, I had tunnel vision, blacked out. My heart was going, the adrenaline's up, because, I mean, you're standing in front of 15 dudes
Right. Stressful
that know
situation.
how they're doing this, or they know how to do it, and you're there, and you're trying not to look like an asshole. And,
Yep.
that buzzer goes off, and everything just goes right out the door. And it's crazy. Like, it, and then you think, well, if I was in a self-defense situation, like, how does that even... how do you even aim?
Right.
You see people, in the convenience store footage, of the guy, and he's just swinging the hand around, firing shots everywhere. And it's like, yeah, that's panic, it's adrenaline. So yeah, you definitely learn how to curb it and control it. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think those shoots are cool. And I think, just my opinion, that everybody should have to go through some extra level of training, or even, do a couple IDPA matches or something once a year, every couple months, once they get their conceal.
Yeah.
Just because that extra level of training to help get you more familiar, because there's a lot of people that get their conceal and they don't even fire the gun after that.
Right.
They don't use it. They don't train with it. I mean, I don't necessarily train with it in that way. I do shoot my guns, not as much as I should, the handguns at least. And I'll take fault for that, but just wanting to train like that and just get more familiar with how to clear a room a little bit better, stuff like that, just to be, more proficient with it, so that way, if there ever was an instance, I could do it safely, calmly, and know that I'm going to come out of this and my family's going to come out of it, and the intruder is not. So
I don't know what it was, 5-6 years, maybe a little longer. That guy that stopped that other guy in the mall and shot that dude at like 25 yards or something. He was a pistol sports shooter.
Okay.
yeah,
And that's, building that confidence, shooting those targets, and people shouldn't be, I talk about, a bunch of guys and being scared and not wanting to look like an asshole. But the fact of the matter is every one of these events that I've ever gone to, no matter whether it's, NRL 22, 3-gun, I'll throw USPSA in there, IDPA, everybody there, like, will give you the shirt off their back. Like, you just show up, be like, I got this gun, I got this holster, like, can I play? And they'll be like, well, it's a Serpa. No. But, they'll give you hey, I got a holster in the car, or I got my backup gun.
yep,
And you can run that. I got mag pouches. I got, whatever you need,
Wow.
This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it, and walk you through it and give you the, on the job training,
yep,
to be able to have, just a good time and know what you need to do. And, okay, I need to go buy a different holster,
Yeah.
and go and have fun, and it's just like the 3D stuff. Costs a little more money.
Right.
But
It's funny you bring that up because I actually made the mistake of not checking the calendar at the Itasca Gun Club one day. I just showed up to shoot my 9mm, and the whole range was packed, and it was the action pistol folks. And, so I got to talking with them, and they were just the nicest people ever. Open invitation anytime you want to come. I think they said bring $5 and any holster but a Serpa.
Oh, they said that?
They will not allow them there because
Really?
those are those holsters where you have to do the finger release, and it like almost forces, once you release it, your finger to go in the trigger guard.
Okay.
It's just
Makes
not
sense.
safe.
Yeah.
back to that whole people getting excited thing. But yeah, pretty hard on Serpa. And, was level 3 retention.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the attitude is great. And I've been at 3-gun matches where guys are competing to be the best. And I've seen a guy's shotgun go down, and I've seen the dude who he's trying to knock out first walk over, grab his backup gun and hand it to him and be like, come on, dude, we're not done yet.
nice,
You know,
Yep.
and, finishing it out.
Right.
And there's a lot of fun in that. And I'm trying to bring that to some archery and
yeah,
Right.
Bring that to these 3D shoots.
And I think that's what we need. We needed somebody to get that excitement in there, in the archery and the 3D ranges we have around here and the indoor ranges we have around here.
right.
Yeah.
So where do people go to find out more about these shoots and to register?
That's a good question. Probably the Facebooks are the best place for us to connect. You can find me on the Grand Rapids Archers community page or the Grand Rapids Archers page. You can find information on those 2 pages.
You can find some information on MNBOW too.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
We have it listed there.
Just trying to think. I'm guessing probably Itasca Archery's got at least a few links, I would assume. At least sharing.
I don't know, actually. I don't know who updates Gary's.
If not, we'll have to talk to Gary and
Yeah,
tell
be
him.
like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on,
You gotta
Steve,
get this
get it
up.
updated.
You got to get updated, buddy.
There is some information on the Grand Rapids Archers website.
Okay. There you go.
You can get some information there. I did speak with our web designer. We're probably going to have some sort of pre-registration, sign-up type deal, maybe a giveaway.
And what's that website address if people want to go to the Grand Rapids Archers?
That you've got.
It is www.grandrapidsarchers.com.
That's pretty simple.
I know.
That's pretty simple.
I just want to make sure, a lot of times if you Google stuff, you definitely want to put Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
That's right.
Just to make it
Right.
apparent, because I've made the mistake. I was looking for, we were looking for some archery club, and it was not here. It was down in the cities.
Rapids.
Rapids. Yes, it was
Club.
Rapids Archery Club. Yep.
Yeah.
Because they were on MNBOW as well. And it's
Yeah.
and I was searching for Grand Rapids, but for whatever reason, my dyslexia kicked in, and I only typed in Rapids, and it's like, well, that's not right. I want Grand
look
Rapids.
familiar.
Yeah. The logo is not right here. So,
oh my God, look at all the cool stuff happening over here.
Right. Andover.
It is worth an honorable mention. There are a lot of archery clubs that are holding 3D events pretty much every weekend.
Well, there's one at Rapids Archery this weekend. They're having their Iceman or Icebreaker shoot or whatever they're called.
Icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had sent me an email and asked if I was coming down. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for this weekend. But
Right.
I wanted to get down there, but I had a buddy call me and wants to go pick up a Harley. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'll try to be down there.
that sounds like more fun. Yeah, I know they're having that night shoot. I'd like to go down to that just to see how they do that. See if we could do it around here.
That would be a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah.
I talked to him and he said last year was their first year and they learned a lot. So it'd be a good year to go this year to see.
Bowfest holds a night shoot
Do they?
on Friday night, and everybody lived, nobody broke a leg, and everybody had a lot of fun. Which I shot that course Friday in the day, and I have no idea how anybody made it down that thing. It was like a vertical. The first 4 targets were like a vertical wall that you were walking back and forth on. And I was just like, I do not know how this is going to go. But
Yeah, sounds like we're going to have to get some exercise, Dean, if we're going to go there, man. I don't think, I don't think I can do it right now.
the worst is when you're, and this is what I don't get, right? So they have intermediate and expert level terrain, and they have something for beginner. So I'm dying, I'm a big guy, and we're sitting down on the side-in range, and these little skinny yoga pant wearing, flat shoes wearing are coming out of the trail, and I'm just like, how did you not die? I'm like, what's it like in there?
I thought you guys said you hadn't been there before.
We have not been to Bowfest.
just described you.
Yeah. Yoga pants. We're always rocking our yoga pants.
Flat shoes. I don't think I've ever.
I don't think we would have came out of there, dude.
Right.
I don't. So I walk past, and people are going to be like, I'm never going to Bowfest. I walked past the entrance to one of these trails, and the first shot looked really cool because it was probably 65, 70 yards, straight down. And I'm like, how do you even get to the target?
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point.
I don't even
do I have
wanna-
to walk down and back up that damn thing?
Yeah. Well, a lot of them, so you walk down and you get your arrows as you go, but there's spots where you have to go back up. So
That's where the chairlift comes into play, right?
yeah. Well, unfortunately, I didn't see the ski patrol. They should at least have them around,
Yeah.
They could drag me out of it.
Right. A defibrillator, get it back going, bud. Finish the course.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm hoping that it works out to where we can go.
Yeah.
To Bowfest.
There's a
at
couple
least-
events that
at
weekend.
least for a
but
day or two.
I'd like to go there for a day. At least.
It would be just to check it out, do a shoot. I think it'd be fun. And we were talking today. I've never shot out at Bernie's.
Right. I like Bernie's course. I've been on there a few times.
I've never been out to that one.
And when you say Bernie's, that's Four Rivers
Four Rivers Archery.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've never
I was
been
going
out
to
to that
say
course.
Three Rivers. It's too many. I shot Bernie's 2-3 weekends ago for the Iceman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That was the first time I shot it.
Actually, I shot that a few years ago.
You did?
Placed first in that one. Many years ago. I'll say many years ago.
You want a trophy or something?
I think I got a high five back then, so I didn't get a trophy. But I did keep that thing where he posted and my name's on top. I thought that was pretty yeah, it was it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
It was
I
Xeroxed.
yeah, it was old. He might have
Sent
wrote it with
around the
pencil. I don't know.
Probably.
So I have done that shoot, and it's fun. I like his course. I mean, he's got some interesting, cool stuff. The moving targets and whatnot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't make it out to Bowfest, well, at least we know we'll be at Rapids Archery,
Grand Rapids Archery.
Grand Rapids Archery, May 3rd.
May 3rd. Grand Rapids Archers 3D Challenge fundraiser.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Come.
Yeah, I was gonna try to
win
look
some
at the
cool
other days.
stuff.
Yeah, they got all kinds of good stuff to give away. It's going to be a hoot. Probably going to be some food, right?
Yes. So SNS donated burgers.
Nice.
We're going to have burgers, chips, cold drink, few bucks. I don't remember, $7 or $8, I think,
Yeah.
for that.
But it is a fundraiser, so it goes to a good spot.
It is. We're raising money. We need to make some building improvements to
Right.
the club.
Yeah, you guys got to work on the roof a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, so it looks like it's 25 per person.
25 per person. If you're a Grand Rapids Archer or a member of Gary's course, then you're going to get in for
20.
20.
Looks like 20.
This is bad. I should know this stuff.
That's all right. That's kind of why I printed and kept everything.
Let me look here. I got to post.
That's why we have Dean to Google shit.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I need my
This,
little-
I've got so many hours into this. My brain is mush. We are giving away, we're going to sell raffle tickets. We're giving away a Hoyt AX2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So I'm assuming that's the new compounds. That's what they call them.
Yeah. That's the new Alpha X.
LFX, yeah. Because what is it you shoot? You know? Oh, you got the VTM.
I actually have the Ventum, before they went to the VTM.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
so
I've got the Venom.
And you won that at
30.
Itasca Archery.
I did because it was at his
Open house.
open house,
Yeah.
and I signed up, or I bought the 3D range pass, put you in for the drawing for new bow, and he called me a few months later. That was the best birthday I've had in quite a while because I got the bow right around my birthday. So
Right, yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet your wife was happy she didn't have to get you anything.
Exactly. Well,
Well, you
know,
got some
maybe.
accessories.
I did. That was a great thing because I'd been looking at a bow, and it's like then I got the call. It's like, wow, yeah, I got this. Sweet, I got this new bow. It's free. It's like, or she goes, well, good, it's free. I go, well, the bow itself, it's free, but I have to put all my stuff on it.
Yeah.
We'll just take the
$500
stuff.
HHA
Yeah, pretty
sight
much.
on there.
She goes, we'll just take the stuff off your old bow. I said, no, that's old stuff. I got to get new stuff.
You can't put old stuff on a new boat.
Exactly.
You win something for free. You got to pay it forward.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was probably at least another $700.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And that's not counting arrows because that's when I switched arrows.
Yeah, because that's when you switch to Easton.
Yep, I
right?
switched over to Easton.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Archery stuff is ridiculous.
It is not cheap, and it doesn't seem to be getting any cheaper anytime
No.
soon.
No, and like it drops off, like the value drops, and it's just it's insane.
yeah,
Yeah,
There's,
I'm proud of
yeah,
it.
they've got it figured out with their product development and manufactured
Marketing,
obsolescence.
marketing,
marketing. Yes.
marketing.
Yeah.
They make you believe that it's worth that much.
Well, my thing is my first bow I had, that was a 2008
Was that old?
G5. Or maybe it was a 2010. It was probably a 2010 G5. It was.
What you brought? You got it, Itasca.
I got it. Yep, I got it with Gary. It was 13 years old. I had restrung it twice, I think, and redid everything. And but it's still a great shooting bow. But let me tell you, shooting this new one, there's a difference in technology. I mean, 13 years of technology,
Right.
and then going from nothing against G5, which is now Prime,
Right.
but yeah, and going to that nice Hoyt is quite the difference.
Yeah.
But as we're saying, you're giving away Hoyt. Somebody's giving away Hoyt. Is it
Yeah,
Grand Rapids
yeah,
Archers or is it
Hoyt, us.
Everybody.
all of the above?
Yeah. So we're buying the bow, and we're giving it away.
That's cool.
And you can get raffle tickets at the shoot.
Yes, $20, 150 tickets sold.
Nice.
They go on sale at the start of the shoot. They're going to run till July 1st, and then we're pulling the plug and we're
Okay.
drawn. So I have a feeling they should all be sold by then.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
What really sucks is I get to look at all this stuff and
Give it away.
give it away.
Right.
Trust me, I know how that feels.
We just had to
Just
give
like
away
that,
a
yeah.
beautiful Polaris side by side, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to keep it.
Right?
And we looked at it for several months, and we still had to hand it off.
We did. So entry fees, we were talking about those.
Yes, entry fees, $25.
And that's general
you're
public.
right. $20 for Itasca Archery or Grand Rapids Archer members. So I was thinking ages 13 to 18, $15. 12 and under, free. So,
and you can shoot any form of bow, traditional, compound,
just not crossbow.
just not crossbow. Yep, correct. Yep,
And no
that's right.
broadheads.
No broadheads.
Right. Yep.
Vertical bow, field tips.
Right.
All right.
But there's 3 different distance
Yes,
stakes,
so
right?
there's traditional, middle, and then I think they call it advanced. I don't know what they call the
Challenge
third
stake or something like that.
Yeah. So
That's the most fun.
Yeah, we're gonna add some stakes.
Okay.
So there'll be the challenge stake, and then there'll be like an extra challenge stake.
Oh, wow.
If you want to shoot the course twice, then you can shoot the course again for $10
Okay.
rather than paying the $25, and then shoot it completely different, or mix it up and shoot a variety of it on your way through. And
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it sounds like a great day of fun. Hopefully the weather's great. Well,
Yeah.
get some food, shoot some bow, win some prizes,
Right.
yes,
get some raffle tickets to win a new bow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of fun.
I know. I'm excited. I can't wait to go. I'm
Yeah,
I'm hoping I get an opportunity to shoot. So
Right.
I'm going to shoot. Let's just put it that way. I'll find an opportunity.
I'll shoot, but I don't know if I'll let anybody know how I shoot.
We'll shoot towards the end of the day when everybody else is done.
Right.
Or we'll shoot way early when nobody else is there.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So
May
the first
3rd.
one's May 3rd.
What time? Does it say on the poster?
8 to 5.
8 to 4.
8 to 4.
Yep.
So you get there at 8 o'clock. You probably got to sign up, pay your due, and then you can hit the course.
Yep. Yeah.
Are we serving food all day? Is that lunch or after you shoot kind of thing?
Pretty much. We're going to keep the barbecue down by us. And as people come out, if they want food, we're just going to fire it up and cook up some burgers and
Cool.
just kind of keep it pretty low key and laid back is kind of the plan.
And you said there'll be some cool drinks there they can buy and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. We'll have some water. We'll have pop. We'll figure prices out on that stuff.
Right.
You know,
Right.
keep it cheap. Probably just buy some extra water to keep people hydrated.
Right.
Right.
Water's cheap. Like,
Right. Well, hopefully we need that water, and it's a nice day. So
yeah, we're not like making apple cider trying.
right.
Trying to stay warm. Yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean, it's rain or shine, right? I mean, it's on.
We're doing it. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've got May 3rd. Then we've got June 7th and August 2nd.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of cool. Pretty much a month in between each one.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We took
Well,
July.
other than July, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot August.
That's all right. We all need to learn our months.
Right. I forget there's a month in between.
And you're going to be doing all this stuff on each one of these shoots.
Yes, all this stuff is happening for each shoot. We've got prizes allotted for all 3. So
Nice.
if everybody and their brother shows up, then we'll have to switch to plan B. And then we're going to give away some more stuff. And
Yeah, that's a good problem to have, though, when you're having a fundraiser.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. Like I want to make it rain. So
Yep.
Yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I'm getting stoked. I'm getting happy to be done. I got one more hurdle to get locked up for, and then it's just coast and then plan a couple days ahead and get stuff set up. So I'm super looking forward to that because I got a lot of hours into this thing and
Yeah.
my brain is mush.
So do you get to shoot and have fun at this thing, or you got to work too?
I am going to be a spastic.
Running around everywhere.
I
Mess.
bet.
Right. I get
Making
it.
sure everything is going off.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, I won't really be able to shoot, but I will get plenty of enjoyment of seeing everybody else have a good time.
Right. The fruits
all
of your
about.
labors.
Yep.
We'll shoot it. I'm sure we'll shoot it through as we set the course. So
Right. I suppose.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good time. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to add, or?
I don't know. I mean, how do we get people more jazzed up, besides this?
Well, I think you just got to tell them all the reasons to come. They can win these great prizes. It'll be fun. I mean, you're going to come out and you're going to have a good time. You're going to get some great food, and you're going to win some great prizes. I mean,
For sure.
it sounds like there's a ton of stuff to win, so you're going to walk away with something.
No, we're going to be. No, this will be good. The my next challenge is how to get more people involved throughout the other years. So
Yeah.
that's the question that I'm going to be asking a lot of people at the open house, which is happening
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be there as well.
I don't know if we can make it to this open house, but we'll for sure be there for the first shoot.
Okay,
It's the open house. I think we've all got kind of obligations at this point.
Right.
But for sure, the first shoot will be there. First shoot, we will be there and make it happen. So,
Right.
and then support you guys in any way we can after that. And I think if it's going to go off, great. I think it's going to be very successful, and I don't think you're going to have any problems with the next 3 shoots or years after that. With all your supporters, and it's going to be great for the local community. So
Right. And all the work you've done too. Because Gary said you're just great for the organization, and he's had nothing but kudos to say about you. So
Appreciate that.
I hope
dude.
he is. And I hope the people out at the Archers are thankful too.
Yeah, I hope so too. We'll see going forward. Take it as it comes. And
Right.
see what we can do. Try to jazz some people up, and
Well, we'll do the best that we can. I'm sure a couple of people listen to this podcast anyway.
at least 5.
We'll promote her a little bit.
Quite a few these days.
We do have a few. We have a handful.
We need to stop minimizing our
I know, but it's funny.
great listener base.
Our great
and
listener
We
base.
appreciate every one of you.
We do love everyone.
And
here.
even if you're not local to Grand Rapids, come up to the shoot.
right?
Have a good time. And then hey, maybe at some point. Maybe
And if
your
you're
archery
listening
club
to
is
this
struggling a little
podcast,
bit.
you hear about it here. You're obviously like us, so we'll be there.
Yeah, come
Come say hi.
Right?
Dean will sign your forehead.
Hey, I'm good at that. I've got a marker especially for forehead signing, dude.
a gold Sharpie. Just wait.
It is awesome.
Right. You
I
can
tell
shoot
you what.
against us. Come on down.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that
Well,
because
shoot
they'll be like,
against
"Oh,
you. I mean, because I
yeah.
suck.
Oh, I'm not a whole lot better.
So
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I'm excited. We'll support you guys every which way we can, and I think it's going to be great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
So
Thank you for your time, Jesse.
yeah, thanks for coming,
having
getting out of work early, coming down and hanging out with us.
Yeah, any reason to leave work?
exactly.
Good
I
reason,
twist
right?
my arm.
Right, talk about archery and gun shooting.
And then I was just thinking after the June one, we've got a month off. Maybe we do another one to really promote that August one. To see
kinda
how the
see how
first
things
two
are
went
going,
and everything. And
I'm sure you'll learn a bunch, and
Yeah,
so
Once we get the first couple out of the way,
Yeah,
right.
we'll know what we're going to kind of do next year.
right.
Yep,
So we'll have to
exactly.
talk about it again. Yeah, I like that idea.
Or we just wait till after all 3 are done, and then we do one to see how it went and
Yeah,
what things you might change.
You
something
can
like that.
announce the winner of the Hoyt bow live on Down the Barrel.
Oh, you want us to go live? All right. We can do it, but
What would be cool is if we were really planned and we do a live episode at the August 2nd shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Just
could.
interview the shooters as they come off the course.
That would be really cool.
we could.
We'll work on
Something
that.
to think about.
Right.
Yeah,
We'll work
I hope
on
we
that.
have the numbers that
Yeah.
Right.
support something like that.
Yeah.
Because like 3 people walking around.
Oh, there's
Well,
a lot of people.
I'll shoot the course 50 times. How about that?
Right. You heard it here. Jared's shooting the course 50
Yeah.
times.
Yep. We'll just change your name a little bit. And here comes married Majurek as he comes by again. Oh, hey, no, here's Jared again. Yeah, it'll be sweet.
So, Jared, when you shoot it, are you going to shoot compound or traditional? Because I know you love both.
You should shoot both.
Oh, there you go. You can do
Yeah.
it twice.
There you go.
And
That's
see,
what I'll
you
do.
could compete against yourself.
Right?
Traditional or compound. See how much you do better.
Instead of the $10, he should get charged at 25.
I would.
Yeah, I would do.
Yeah.
Okay, 20.
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll beat your asses no matter what.
Oh, this is where we're going to have a
I see
competition
how it
here.
is. I see how it is.
Well, I ain't going to say much because I haven't shot much
You can
lately.
bring a crossbow and I'll beat you.
No crossbows allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
Or broadheads.
That's right.
So,
Well, that's cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jesse.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
appreciate
coming
it.
on.
And if you
Minnesota
need
Deer
anything,
Hunters
need us to do
Association
anything
has
to
been
help out, just
building
let
our
us know.
hunting and conservation
Sounds like a
legacy
plan.
over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf.Report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.